Madhavan H. He's the Group CFO and Head of Strategy at CK Birla, which is the promoter company of Orient Cement. About the deal, listen in.
No, the rationale for us, as you know, we are a conglomerate across multiple business verticals. So we are in consumer business, human building, technology, and healthcare as well. And we have been investing over the years in some of those specific businesses to disproportionately grow and create value. Now, as part of the conglomerate, as you would imagine, we constantly look at our capital allocation strategy. And given our focus, we being a $3 billion group, to double that turnover in the next 4 to 5 years, but also triple in value. So we are constantly evaluating our portfolio and investing in the new businesses that we would like to invest. And that is primarily the capital allocation strategy that we have followed as a.
And we saw the press release, it mentioned that your existing capacity is around 8.5 million tons and the ready to implement capacity is around 8.1 million tons. Can you give us an idea of how ready is that capacity to go commercial?
No, but it's pretty much ready, almost to double that capacity as well. So there is the asset is a high quality asset. As you would know, we are one of the lowest cost producers of cement in the country. There is enough and more expansion capacity available, and there is also low debt in the company. So it's quite an attractive asset. So there is enough and more to create value and grow this asset itself.
Does it require any more capex to complete that capacity? Because I understand that there's further capacity that can be added to the entire asset.
Yeah, there is a greenfield expansion as well in this. From 8.5, we can go up to 16 plus, and there is a capex involved, and that plan is pretty much laid out for us anyway. So we know what it is, and that's in a way straightforward. We have the rest of the approvals in place to go ahead with that capacity expansion. So this is a question of execution in the coming years.
And it was purely meant to happen through internal accruals?
Internal accruals and borrowings at that point of time, but the new buyer can, of course, choose how they want to finance that. But that is how we are planning as well.
I was just wanted to. I was just looking at the release which you said, and Mrs. Birla had spoken about the fact that it's one of it's an attempt to consolidate as well as focus on key areas there. Which are the areas that the CK Birla Group would be focusing once it exits cement? The next, the big, segment that you operate in is IT technologies, information technologies, where Birla Soft is there, and that's one of the largest piece in your listed space. So, which are the areas that you are going to focus on, and how are you going to take it forward?
So we have 4 major verticals as we move forward. Consumer businesses, there is a home and building space that we have. We have the healthcare space and also the IT and technology, as we mentioned. All 4 are critical for us. And as you would already notice, we have made this year 2 acquisitions in our healthcare business, in fertility. We have made 1 in HIL business as well in the building material space. So this is, while we invest in our organic growth, we are also continuously looking at the inorganic growth as well. Because our ambition is to, while we double this turnover, we are constantly looking at opportunities organically and inorganically to grow within and outside India. So for us, that is an important element of the strategy. And as we speak, we are evaluating assets both in the country and outside.
Okay, in the consumer and building material space, you have Orient Electric and Orient Paper and HIL. These are the 3 major ones, major companies which are there. What kind of outlook do you have on them in terms of the kind of growth you're looking at, and the kind of capital they may be requiring to go aggressively and grow inorganically?
No, we are bullish about all the 4 verticals, also about the verticals that you had called out and the businesses you had called out. So there are plans as we speak that are getting executed for expansion, as I said, both within and outside India. So we are quite hopeful about future growth and specifically value creation. Financing has never been an issue for us as a group. We were always quite strong financially. Our balance sheets were quite strong across the group. So that's something which we don't worry too much about. Having said that, there has to be disciplined capital deployment as well. And that is what we are focused on as we speak.
There are two businesses which are not listed. One is the auto ancillary businesses, which is the NBC bearings that you make through NEL or NHE or something. And then the healthcare business where you have hospitals which are already there. Are there plans to bring those two businesses to the market?
The NEI, as you said,
NEI,
has the brand name of NBC as well. They're one of the largest bearing manufacturers in the country. They are having their clear expansion plans and portfolio expansion plans as well, and that is being executed as we speak. And in healthcare, as I said, we have already made 2 acquisitions. We are not so much looking at building scale, but building more excellence in clinical delivery, patient experience, and care. And that's been our core focus. And that will continue to be our focus as we move forward as well. At this point of time, there is no intention to bring them into the public space, but all these options are always open for us. When there is a right moment and there is a need, we always evaluate that.
The promoters, as per the shareholding, owns nearly 38% in the company, and you're going to get 3,000 odd crores. So, do you plan to bring in, plow back this investment into some of the existing companies, or are you going to look at some new areas and new verticals?
No, absolutely. As we speak, there is a portfolio of businesses that we currently have, and we are also looking at new businesses that the group will enter into as well. So we are evaluating both as we speak. As I said, capital has never been our biggest concern because we are always strong financially. This will only help us accelerate our strategy in terms of both revenue and value acceleration in the chosen verticals that we have. So for sure, we will be investing in that growth and probably even accelerating it even more in the coming years.
Can you elaborate some of the sectors that you would be looking at?
Well, as we speak, we are very much focused on technology and technology-enabled services, and what can be beyond just pure play IT. We also have a strong engineering background as a group as well. And where the important part for us is we are no more looking at individual companies and their businesses. We are looking at capabilities that we have which straddle across these businesses, and how can we combine those capabilities to build new businesses. So the lens that we use is very different now in terms of looking at newer opportunities. And we are also of the view that we don't have to necessarily build every business, but also maybe invest in other businesses as well. So it will be a combination of things that we will do in terms of creating value. So both organic, inorganic growth for the existing businesses and new businesses where we will build and invest, or all the 4 options are out there for us and being actively pursued.
Given that you have exposure to the auto sector, are you also looking at the new verticals, the new electric vehicle or ecosystem around it? Because that's something which many companies are looking at to expand as we electrify automobiles in the country. So are you looking at that sector actively there?
No, we are already far into it. In fact, the companies that are in our portfolio are already into that space and supplying components to OEMs as well. So we are already in that space. We are looking at how to scale, how to partner in terms of technology to be more meaningful to the manufacturers as well. So that has been the strategy. But we are already well entrenched in that space and wanting to scale up now.